Hey people, today we are going to prepare some Pachamanquero style grilled chickens. For this recipe, we are going to use chicken. Of course, I'm going to use the crotch part. This is relatively juicier. You don't necessarily have to use this part. You can also use any other part either. Chest and even the leg, I am going to use this because relatively it is juicier. What we do have to do is we are going to remove the entire feather because when we buy it, it does not come completely clean. We also remove the excess skin. In total, I am using 7 relatively small holes from the crotch part. Now we are going to wash this thing here very well to remove any feathers that can be seen stuck and even some impurities. And for this we are going to use some aromatic herbs such as, for example, here I have a little huacatay, I also have a little cilantro, a little bit of mentas picata, and the one that gives it that peculiar flavor is of course this herb known as chincho, of which we are also going to use about 5 cloves of peeled garlic. The other thing, of course, to give it also flavor, onion. Now we are going to start this onion thing, how we are going to blend it, this sauce thing that we are going to use, of course, to marinate our chicken. We are going to first remove all the shell, and the type of cut we are going to blend is a cut normally known as a miracle cut. That is, it does not have to have an exact cut, which is this. We are going to put it directly, of course, in the glass where we are going to process it. We are going to blend it. We also add the garlic clove, of course. Of these herbs, what we are going to use will only be the parts of the leaves. This here would be the grass, that is the huacatay. The amount that I am using is more or less between 2-3 stems, and the coriander. If we are going to add a little stem to give it a lot of flavor, which of course we are also going to put directly in the blender cup. We do the same thing with the mint, only the part of the leaves. And of course I'm also going to put these huacatay leaves on it. And that very peculiar flavor that you take for granted is what it would be like. It has a resemblance to huacatay. It would be chincho. We are going to use in the same way the part of the leaves only. Of all the herbs, I am using more or less a handful of them. We are going to season it. Of course, we are going to add pepper, about half a teaspoon. The other thing we are going to add is also going to be about half a teaspoon of cumin powder. Salt to taste. Of this I will add 1.5 tablespoons. The other thing we are going to use is of course chicha de jora. It is also going to help us to process more easily. We are going to use 1 cup of this. In the worst case, if you do not have chicha de jora, you can of course use blonde beer or even black beer. This we are going to take it to process. On this side, I already have the chicken and previously left it in a colander to drain all the water it has. This sauce, I just liquefy it about 30-40 seconds, nothing more. I also like that it has that not so liquefied texture of the herb, and what we have to do is simply add it to all of our chicken. We are going to mix it very well so that the sauce, of course, reaches all the parts of our chicken. Now yes, once we have it well mixed, this is important for it to have enough flavor. It is advisable to let it rest, of course, for at least 1 hour. And if we let it rest for at least 1 hour, it is advisable to let it rest for at least 1 hour. From one day to the next, of course, it will take on a lot of flavor. This is also important to leave in the refrigerator. And then honestly, I left this chicken resting from one day to the next. And this is how we have this chicken. It already has enough flavor. What we have to do is we are going to put it in a small tray. We are going to try not to put so much liquid in it before we put it on the grill. I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable oil. This is basically so that it doesn't stick to the grill. And what we have to do is we are going to mix it so that the oil reaches all the parts of the grill. Now once we have it ready, we are going to put it directly on the grill. Previously, about 12 or 15 minutes in advance, I lit the charcoal. of which I will also accompany with a totally fresh salad. This is going to be a little bit like a solterito style. We are going to use corn, onion, lemon, also a touch of spice, of course, a little bit of ají limo. On this side, I have lima beans. We are also going to use a little bit of cheese and olives. We are going to start with the corn because this is the one that is going to take a little bit more time. And this time, I'm going to use 2 units of corn. And in fact, so that it cooks more easily, what I'm going to do is we're going to husk it in this way with the help of the knife. This way the corn also cooks faster. Once we have this ready, we are going to put it in a small saucepan. We are going to fill it with water and we are going to put it to boil. Of course, I calculate between 12 to 14 minutes approximately. The other thing that we are also going to add to the salad is this product, which is basically the broad beans. What we have to do with this, we are going to remove the peel. In fact, it has 2 types of peel. Normally the first one, and this would be the second peel, and we are going to leave it like this. I'm using half a kilo of beans. And this is going to be cooked separately. I calculate between 4 to 5 minutes, more than enough. The other thing that we are going to add so that it doesn't become unpalatable is a little touch of salt. 1 minute before turning off the corn so that it turns out very white, it is good to add the juice of a lemon. Depending on the amount of corn, in this case I added only 1 unit of lemon. And to this salad we are also going to add, of course, onion. This time I'm going to add 2 units of onion. If you can't get red onion, you can also use white onion. So that the cut also comes out more uniform, I always tend to remove the heart part. I'm not going to throw it away either. I use it as a dressing, even to make sauces. This way also, when I make any kind of cuts for salads, even for lomo saltado, it makes the cut more even, more uniform. The type of cut that I am going to apply for the salad is going to be small squares. Usually this type of onion is a little bitter, so it is advisable to leave it in water for at least 4 or 5 minutes. And then simply soak it 2 or 3 times. We are also going to add a touch of fresh cheese to this salad. I am going to make some cuts in the same way, some little square cuts. This if we are going to put it directly in a bowl. Here we are going to prepare the salad mixture. I am also going to put a little bit of olives, green olives. This is already seedless. The kind of cut we are going to make, it's like this. To give it a touch of contrast and at the same time texture, flavor and color, I'm going to put some red bell pepper. We are going to remove the veins. This one does not sting. On the contrary, it has a sweet. We are going to remove the veins. Cut it in the same way as the onion. Cut into squares. Usually to this type of salad that is solterito style, usually put rocoto. This time I'm going to put ají limo. This is a little more aromatic. This will depend a lot on how spicy it is. This time I am only going to add about half a unit. We also take a couple of lemons, about 4 or 5 units to be able to season this bachelor thing. Here we are also going to add the onion. This of the beans previously has to be already very cold. We are going to put it in a little bit bigger container to be able to mix it faster. Here we are also going to add the corn. This, just like the beans, must be cold. On this side we are going to make the dressing part to add to the solterito. Here we are going to add, of course, the lemon juice of 5 units. We move on to seasoning, adding a touch of pepper, salt to taste. Once we have dissolved the salt well, we are going to add olive oil, approximately 4 or 5 spoonfuls. To this salad, we are also going to add a little bit of mint leaves. The other thing we are going to add is huacate leaves. We are going to chop, finely chopped. Here we're going to add this dressing a little bit at a time. And of course we are going to start mixing very well. At this point the chicken is completely cooked. I was on the grill between an hour and 20 to an hour and a half. We are going to remove it. In the same way, I had previously raised the potatoes on top of the grill. Now we move on to plating. On one side we are going to put this salad that is super fresh, or also known as solterito. On this side we put our potato. On this side we put our chicken. Whoever cooks, of course, gets to eat double.
As always, friends, thanks for watching our video. I hope you liked the recipe. You know that anything you want to add, let me know below in the comments. Take care and see you in a few days with a new video. Bye.